Nose outside and get a little closer to March and the madness to come. Duke and Petty tip things off in the opening tap, controlled by the Cats. Cassidy Rowe will set up the offense for Kentucky, coming off a road loss at Auburn on Thursday. Starting five for UK. 11th different starting lineup this year. Sheer, Jenkins, Rowe, Emma King, and Asia Petty, the double-double machine. Gators get their first touch and go to work. Rimdahl has it. Asia, interesting that head coach Kelly Rae Finley will bring her top two scorers off the bench today once again. You take a look at the starting five for the Gators. It's the 8th straight game that Florida's used that starting five, and Reynolds connects to make it 2-0.
And that's actually something that I've seen trending across several teams across the country. And I think that spark off the bench, that shift in the dynamic, the energy, the speed is the strategy here.
I know you wouldn't have liked coming off the bench.
If I'm coming off the bench dropping 20 like those two, sure.
It's okay, maybe. Right?
Why not?
Yeah. Petty gets a touch inside against Duke, operating with the spin and the finish.
Ooh, this is what Petty does. She's so smooth. You get caught behind her, she's going to punish you.
Rimdahl with a pass. She'll get the bounce. Gators back in front.
I love Rimdahl's game. She's so quick with the basketball. So hard to keep her in front of you defensively.
Gators took Ole Miss to overtime at home in Gainesville on Thursday. Had a golden opportunity to try to enhance that resume against Coach Yo's squad. Came up short by 10 in the extra session. Emma King from downtown, and she connects. And a good start for the Cats here at home, a 5-4 advantage.
That's a great job just on the attack, drawing to and kicking out to Emma King, open on the corner. Got to be shot ready for that.
Reynolds had an open pass, couldn't finish. King outside to Warren, in and out.
Both teams want to get into the paint. They want to play through the paint, and then opens up options for the outside shot. So I love how aggressive Kentucky's being shot ready from the outside.
2.5 minutes in, the skip pass. Reynolds thought about it, and an offensive foul, the first on 13. Kelly Rae Finley, year 3 in Gainesville, took her team a deep run at the WNIT a season ago. 53 wins overall in that appearance in the 2022 dance.
So now Florida looking to slow things down, slow Kentucky a little bit. Soft quarter court press.
Sheer thinking about it, tried to feed Petty, and that pass is going to be intercepted. Ryan Warren inside. First touch for Matharu, who just checked in. Leading scorer coming off the bench again. The 7th time this year, Rowe picks up her first person. Kyra Elzy, year 4 as the head coach in Lexington, 12th season overall. And as a former longtime assistant, Coach Mitchell. Of course, everybody remembers that run in the SEC tournament back in 2022, Asia.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, it was so impressive, and obviously Ryan Howard, a player who is actually coaching on Florida's roster, on their staff right now, was a huge part of that. I mean, that was a team, we talk about resume, that was a team that a lot of people didn't think had a chance even in the NCAA tournament. And then what did they do? They go and shock the world, sweeping through the SEC tournament, shocking, beating South Carolina.
Three-pointer no by Correa. She's over 50% from deep in SEC play this year. Leilani Correa, Leah Matharu, the 2 leading scorers. Those first 2 minutes to kind of see what's happening. Sheer, that's an offensive foul, and she pushed off.
Yeah, pushed off, got her shoulder in there. What I like that Kentucky's doing is they're moving the ball around. That's what you got to do. But have another look here. Sherry, extended arm, shoulder in there, aggressive on her attack for the offensive foul.
I had to do a double take when we first were assigned this game a couple of weeks ago. Ryan Howard, former Kentucky star, as an assistant coach at Florida. And you do a deeper dive into what the connection is there. Her mom, R.J. Avery, was a standout for the Gators from 87 to 91. And so the connection in Gainesville, very strong with Ryan Howard's family. And she's had a very busy weekend. Was Indianapolis this weekend for the NBA All-Star festivities, was playing with Team USA in Belgium last week. And now back here in Lexington, where she was a two-time SEC Player of the Year for the Wildcats and was a part of that run to the title back in 2022, Asia.
Ryan Howard just making big moves. You talked about how everywhere that she has been. NBA All-Star last night. How fun was that to watch?
Watching Steph Curry, Sabrina Ionescu kind of do their thing in the shootout. And Sabrina had a chance. I mean, it came down to that last rack of balls to be able to figure out who was going to win that. And it was fun.
Steph was shaking watching Sabrina make all the balls in the first rack. But, you know, big picture, what that does for the women's game is see us being able to compete with the men. Sabrina shooting it from the NBA three. I mean, it's so fun to watch.
Very fun. And a blocking foul called. Matharu didn't like it. That's her first.
But notice all the help coming from Florida, sinking in on Asia Petty, and as they should, because she's so strong in the perimeter. Yeah, Matharu, I think she got there late, wasn't set up.
Didn't love the call there. Asia.
Didn't love the call.
No, you could tell. Petty defended by Kindred inside. Now draws the double team. Dump off to Brooklyn Miles, who just checked in. Sanaya Tyler from deep.
So missed shot, but that's exactly what Kentucky needs to do.
Pass errant from Correa, trying to spot Rimdahl, who was breaking towards the basket.
For Kentucky, continue to get it into Petty. Don't force it in where you're going to get a turnover, but play through her. When the double's coming, when the triple's coming, those players whose players are coming in to help, that's your cue to cut and get yourself open for a shot.
You were part of multiple runs to the NCAA tournament. How tough is it to win the grind of February? Here in the middle part of February, everybody's tired, everybody's got a little attitude on them, right?
Absolutely, you're tired. And those road games especially are really tough, but it's the grind, it's the grit, it's tough, and you don't know it in the moment, but then once you get to tournament time, you realize how much it all pays off and how important it is to secure those wins in that month of February.
Warren open, top of the key, no, and Miles claims the rebound. Here's Russell off the bounce, and a 7-4 advantage for the Cats.
Russell with the bounce, with the crossover, and the extension.
All right, Russell for two. That's a foul on the three. And Leilani Correa going to shoot 3 free throws when we come back. Good start for Kentucky. 3-point advantage halfway home in the first.
T-Mobile built a 5G network so powerful it goes beyond the expected. And now T-Mobile 5G internet for homes and businesses is here. Just $50 a month with no exploding bills or annual contracts.
There's a reason why it's called a possession. It's not just who has the ball, but the opportunity. From Lexington to Nashville to Columbia, possession means this moment has your name on it. All you have to do is take it. So be ready and don't miss your shot. Pfizer and the SEC are teaming up to remind fans that updated COVID-19 shots are available. Learn more and find a vaccine option at schedulecovidvax.com.
As the head of HR, I help lead a successful home security firm. Our teams work hard to secure our customers' most valuable assets. And while they do that, I work hard to secure ours. Our people. That's why we chose Principal to provide the benefits and retirement plan that show our people just how much we appreciate them. Benefits help us keep top talent. Hi, Mom. Benefits help us grow because we know how important security is to all.
File 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at TurboTax.com. That's me!
Well, certainly a great weekend in Lexington. It is Alumni Day today, and the Kentucky women's basketball program celebrating 50 years of varsity status, bringing back 90 former players, and smiles all around going back to yesterday, as most of them were in attendance for practice. And here today, great turnout of fans, and you can feel it. And there's a lot of pride with this program going back to its first year of basketball 50 seasons ago, Asia. Fantastic vibe in the arena so far this afternoon.
Yeah, it's great to see the fans out. Heard they had a great celebration yesterday, and I mean, that's so important to know those who came before you, who paved the way, and who really cemented themselves and built a legacy in this Kentucky program.
Kentucky basketball, the women's side here at Rupp Arena this year as Memorial Coliseum goes through renovations. We'll tell you more about that as we get deeper into this game. And a good start for the home team, although that foul by Russell there on the pass by Correa. Got 3 free throws coming back. That's something Coach Elsie certainly not going to be happy with.
Yeah, fouls down the stretch. That's something that you want.
Correa to the free throw line where she is 77% this year. 23 in black just surpassed 2,000 points in her career. It started at St. John's in the Big East. I mean, she is a scorer in every sense of the word. Don't forget, coming up Monday night, our women's basketball matchup right here on the SEC Network, the ESPN app, LSU, Texas A&M. Aggies looking for a statement win. Coverage tips at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. As you played College Station there after starting your career at Maryland. You were just down there last week. Aggies got to put something together. They got a chance to go to the tournament.
Absolutely. They're putting a lot together. I think the biggest thing for the Aggies is closing games out, not fouling and not turning the ball over specifically is where they've really struggled. And that's where they struggled against Vanderbilt in that late stretch.
Correa the rebound off the Russell miss and then stolen by Miles. Janae Walker on the floor for the first time. Just had her first career start at Auburn on Thursday. And the bounce pass out of bounds.
Yeah, that was predetermined pass by Russell. She's got to take her time, dribble the ball out, and let her team get set up offensively.
Tied at 7, almost 6 minutes in here at Rupp Arena. Swooping shot by Mathari finds the bottom, and it's 9-7 Gators.
That's exactly what the Gators have to continue to do, get the ball into the paint. Mathari coming off the ball screen is absolutely lethal. And same thing for the Wildcats. The attack, getting into the paint. Miles.
5'5" junior from Frankfort, Kentucky, somehow snuck through the first line of defense. First time we've seen Miles start as a reserve this year. Started the previous 25 games for the Cats. A different perspective. Kyra Elsie pressing different buttons to get her team at a different level. Nia Russell off the bounce, the dump off, and Walker inside with a bounce. First points for Janae Walker.
Walker's great. She's a role player. She does exactly what she needs to do. She rebounds. She gets those easy bunnies, those drop passes, as you just saw there.
Daru will start and stop. Zippy Broughton off the mark. And a foul called. Go against Reynolds, her second.
Kentucky on a roll. Why? Because they're getting the ball into the paint. Brooklyn, Miles aggressive on the attack. And then the drop-off pass, a great pass by Sanaya Russell. And it drops in.
Not sure how Brooklyn Miles was able to get that shot off. It's like she shot it before anybody thought it was going to be a shot, and it worked. 2 points for numeral 0. The lead is 2. High ball screen for Maddie Shear. Pass intended for Walker was picked off by Correa.
A great read by Correa. That's the look that Kentucky was trying to get.
It was a late whistle, but the right call on Correa, who extended the forearm, and that's an offensive foul.
Have another look at the play. Correa coming down. Yeah, and then got late call like you said, but definitely you saw the extension there.
Kelly Ray Finley having a word with his veteran officiating crew, led by Brian Hall today. Tough pass, nearly turned over, and Maddie Shear whips it inside.
Yeah, I thought there might have been a little contact there.
A lot of contact. Jenkins couldn't finish. Gators come away with it. And the mid-range is there from Matharu. She'll get it back, put it up and in a quick 4 points.
Showed a whole lot of elements of her game just within 1 second. You saw the mid-range, you saw the defensive stop, and her ability to be able to finish at the basket.
Maddie Shear banks in a three. A little bit of everything in this last 30 seconds or so.
Maddie Shear is a pass-first guard, but stepping up and scoring the basketball, shooting the three specifically is exactly what the Wildcats need from her.
Correa. Now you mentioned Matharu in her game. She leads the SEC in steals. It was 3.5 per game in conference play. Jenkins open from 16. In the first quarter that has already seen 4 ties and 5 lead changes. A Dude. And racing to get it is Broughton. Zippy on the move. And another offensive foul that goes on 4 and black. Walker absorbed the charge.
Kentucky's been doing a great job reading that on the scout. I mean, that's all IQ, willing to sacrifice your body, and yeah, set up perfectly right there to be able to take your charge.
Substitutions for both sides. Reynolds get a breather, as will Jenkins for the Cats. And Walker as well. Shear off the side of the backboard from distance. Under a minute to go in the first. Rimdahl baseline, mid-range is there for 5.
That's what Rimdahl likes to do. She likes to attack. She can shoot that mid-range, she can go at the rim. But Kentucky overall, I think, has been doing a great job slowing Florida down. They like to push pace, and I think that's thrown the rhythm off offensively a bit.
Rimdahl nearly 8 points per game this season. 7-second differential between the clocks. McKean outside to Miles, and that's a 3. Now Brooklyn Miles off the bench for the first time this season, almost at her season average here in our first quarter. She's got 5 points.
This is where Kentucky's good offensively, when they're able to get it inside and out. But you got to convert, you got to get stops defensively as well.
Broughton scores the last 2 for Florida before the buzzer. We're tied at 17, 10 minutes in.
A back and forth affair, but now tied. Drea Carter said it best. There's a huge gap between #1 South Carolina and then #2 and down.
Now, I said the same thing last year. I thought Gamecocks would end the regular season undefeated and then march through the NCAA tournament. They did not, so keep that in mind. Stranger things have happened. Just look to last season. And incredible run that LSU and Iowa also went on at the same time, and I think that's what makes this year's tournament even more electric, because Caitlin Clark is back, Angel Reese is back, LSU's going to try to go back-to-back, and you have a very motivated Dawn Staley in South Carolina with some new emerging stars ready to make their run.
Exactly. We got some great freshmen in the country, and then you talk about the parity amongst teams. Colorado up there now, what Juju Watkins has done for USC, but I do have to say this South Carolina squad is looking a little different from what they were last year. They've got some shooting, that outside shooting, which I think has been the big separator.
Second foul, Matharu. That's a developing story here in Lexington. A tie ball game to start our second quarter. And a first quarter that featured 5 ties and 7 lead changes. And for Florida, we talked about it early, they're in a position to be in position, if you will. If they can win these next couple of games, including this one today, they've got a great chance to get back in that NCAA tournament conversation. Rimdahl for 3 gives the Gators the advantage back. Asia Petty, Miles tried to feed her inside, couldn't get there.
This is what Florida wants to do. They want to turn teams over and push push and transition.
Zecco on the floor for the first time, number 9 in black for Florida. And a jump ball as Kindred try to attack. Go back to the Cats.
Exactly what Florida needs. Other players to step up and hit big shots, and that's what Birdie Rimdahl does. She has the ability to drive and attack the basket, which she has been doing. So teams are trying to play the drive, but you got to know where she is as well on the three-point line. And then on the other end, great stop by Kentucky to get the jump ball.
Asia Petty just 2 points in that first quarter, calling for the basketball here. Can Kentucky do anything different to get 13 more involved?
They got to get the ball moving around, catch the defense off guard, but I think that's the biggest thing. All the focus on Florida is on Petty, so the more the ball moves around, you get a shift in the defense, and Petty will be able to work her way in the post and get over.
Kindred just picked up her first. The other thing that Petty can do for you is clean the offensive glass and grab those rebounds for putbacks. We haven't seen a lot of that so far.
Exactly. That's a way to get on the board is the putback. But I have another look at the foul here. Yes, a touch on the arm. That's an easy call.
That was my attempt at trying to be the analyst there for a minute. Asia Petty get the rebound, score. One more free throw coming for Nia Russell, 66% at the line. Started her career at South Carolina, third leading scorer for the Cats this year. And it's a one-point game. So you're like me, we both think that South Carolina will prove victorious today, and it's going to take a lot to upset the Gamecocks in the dance, or in Greenville next month, for the SEC tournament, as a matter of fact. On the shove, Zecco was fouled by Petty. So that's her first. You mentioned her footwork, and for Asia Petty, she's done a remarkable job kind of revamping her diet going back to last offseason. She'll tell you about it. She really has refocused herself and rededicated herself to the craft of playing basketball with the aspirations of playing professionally in the near future.
And you talked about diet and getting in shape for any post player. I think that's key, especially now that we're in that era where basketball is starting to become positionless. The post, we got to be willing to defend out on the perimeter, play out in the perimeter. The game is expanding.
Zecco picked up by Russell, and Russell forces the turnover.
I love it. And Coach Elsley, hype clapping her team up. Great defensive stop by the Wildcats. Can they convert offensively?
Sanaya Tyler, a screen from Petty.
And that's what Petty has to do as well. Work in the paint, but if you don't get it, go outside a ball screen.
I mean, she was open
she was
for a
missed.
minute.
I was going to say, yeah, she was missed on that opportunity.
Euro step for Zecco. Rimdahl saves it.
But sometimes the guards tell me, Roy, that we don't see what they see, so they might not see it. But I'm sorry, if I'm Petty and I see all white 13, number 13 facing me, I'm giving her the ball. Yeah,
she had position on the block and was calling for it. Kindred has position as well, was fouled by Miles. Aaron Kindred, Texas A&M transfer, is going to shoot a pair.
Pick and roll action here. And Brooklyn Miles, help side there, way too late. That's where the foul is called. Brooklyn Miles has to be set up there in the paint, prepared for the help side. Easily you can step in and take the charge.
Junior from the Lone Star State, Kindred, an 85% free throw shooter. Looks good on that first attempt. Mentioned she started her career, her first 2 seasons at Texas A&M. She's been a reserve player for head coach Kelly Ray Finley this year. 23 games off the bench, making 24 after today. Here comes Correa back on the floor. What's my least favorite thing as a high school basketball player? You make the free throw, then you have to go to the bench for the sub, and if you miss the free throw, you stay on the floor. Offensive foul. And the Cats turn it over.
Another look at the foul here. They call a moving screen.
There wasn't a lot to that movement, I think. Usually that's a pretty easy call. Warren was bottled up. She'll turn it over. Here's Russell with a pass. Strong finish.
That's what the Wildcats need, to push it a little bit, push the tempo, and I love the aggressive attack by Russell.
Ira Elsie wants her team to get into transition and make scoring a little bit easier. Rimdahl off the mark. Walker with a rebound.
That's exactly what Walker needs to do. She sets great ball screens, she gets rebounds and accepts those drop passes. And she's working in the paint, wants to see it.
About the read, Mariah Warren. And another offensive foul. Well, how about Brooklyn Miles standing in there? Kelly Ray Finley didn't like it. Number of offensive fouls called already in this first half.
Well, if you know that's the way it's being called for Florida, there has to be more body control. There was no body control going in there, I don't think. There was a lack of body control on that Euro step. Roy disagrees with me here, I believe.
It's a tough call. It's the hardest call in basketball, the block charge. I know Brooklyn had the position that she needed, but
that's why I'm glad they got rid of that lower defensive box rule, because I felt like that made the call even harder. It was going both ways.
Reynolds went over the back. If that's on 13, and it is, that's her third. I couldn't consistently make that call correctly, the block charge.
But at least the refs are being consistent with how they are calling it. Lots of fouls being called, but at least it's both ways.
Shear off the screen and cleared by Kindred, who just checked back in.
Huge difference, not even just with Petty on the bench, but she only has 2 points. She had 1 touch, 1 look at the basket.
Big toss up by Rimdahl. Birdie starting to contribute. Got 9 points today. That's already of her season average, and Shear was bumped. Don't forget Tuesday night men's basketball matchup right here on the SEC Network. Mizzou hosting Tennessee. And Dalton Connect, who could be the favorite of the year, or the favorite rather to win Player of the Year in the SEC. Coverage starts 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Had a chance to see the Vols last night down in Knoxville. They are worthy of that top 10 designation. And Dalton Connect working his way into being a first-round draft pick, maybe a top 10, top 15 pick by the time we get to NBA draft this summer.
I'll hold you to it, Roy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm going to come back and send you a text message. We'll see when
send
draft time comes.
Send me an angry text or angry tweet if I'm off base. It'll be the first one I've ever gotten. Petty back on the floor. The lead at 1 for the visitors from Gainesville.
Kentucky continuing to look to slow Florida down. If anything, you want to keep them to a half-court game.
How about Tyler? Sinai thought she had a steal. It was last touch by Rimdahl. Instead, it was hit by Sinai Tyler. Rimdahl will head to the bench. Tharu comes back in with those 2 fouls. So number 2 in black's got to be careful not to pick up that 3rd in the half.
And if I'm Kentucky, I'm attacking her on the offensive end.
Alumni Day here in Lexington. Good turnout of fans. Boy, up and under Matharu. Petty clears for the rebound. It's her 3rd. Jenkins baseline. Ball rotation is there.
That's how you got to do it.
Rowe had an open look, couldn't finish. And a foul called on 20 in white. That's Jenkins in her first. 1-point game, halfway home in our 2nd quarter. And Rupp.
I'm a guy who lost a bet and my dignity. As if watching my team lose wasn't punishment enough. What are you looking at, huh? What are you? It's a 1-speed. And if you have cut rate car insurance, odds are you'd be paying for that yourself. So get Allstate. I'd be better protected from mayhem, like me. Hey, I'm walking here.
The if in life. It's a world of possibilities. If you go for a night out with friends. If you can keep an eye on your money along the way. If you know you have overdraft protection with no fee transfers from savings, when you get a low balance alert, it's easier to say yes to fun. If that sounds good, try Regions Life Banking.
Stay ready for the if in life. Regions Bank embrace the if in life.
I rode the market to the moon. And back. Then I met with my TurboTax expert.
I'll make all your investments count. The gains and losses, all filed with 100% accuracy. Intuit TurboTax.
The SEC and SEC Network thank our official corporate sponsors for their continued support of our student athletes during every championship season.
PB and Steph coming up on the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report. We'll get you ready for South Carolina, Georgia monster game there. What are you seeing right now on this one, though?
Well, Kentucky playing inspired basketball at home. I'm just curious, Florida coming off that tough loss to Ole Miss. Correa has just 3 points right now. She leads the SEC in scoring and conference play. Can she get hot? Changes Florida's offense.
We'll talk about that at half. See you in a few.
PB Steph, thank you very much. Back in Lexington, and I do think that there is a little bit of a residual effect after that overtime setback to Ole Miss. You take a look at where South Carolina currently sits. Game against Georgia coming up at 1 o'clock Eastern on ABC. Gamecocks by far and away the #1 overall seed, according to ESPN bracketologist Charlie Cream. The NCAA tournament reveal as well. But you look there at the bottom, Asia, and you got 4 teams right there on the bubble. Christy Curry's Alabama squad has kind of separated itself a little bit from that pack, but what this means is all these games in the month of February become critical, and then the SEC tournament in Greenville next month. You could see elimination games for the NCAA tournament in those first 2 rounds. Let's say if Tennessee plays Auburn, Vanderbilt plays Texas A&M again. To me, that makes it exciting, but there's going to be some drama. You got Arkansas there just on the outside looking in as well.
But that's what I was going to say. You said it, you hit the head on there. That's what makes it more exciting, because you have all those teams down at the bottom on the bubble, so they are fighting. They are going to be gritty. It's going to make the tournament even more exciting. But Auburn, they look so strong. They look like a tournament team to me.
Yeah, honestly, Scott Grayson has been incredible the way that they defend. Coach Johnny Harris, what a great job she's done on the Plains. Dude will get a touch against Petty. She comes up short, good defense, and Petty tried to rip away that rebound. A jump ball, the possession arrow favors the Gators.
Well, I said it. When Petty's in the game, you got to get on the glass, because she is looking to crash the board. And Kindred, I love the fight. I love the fight there.
4:39 remaining in the half. Heard Peter and Stephanie talk about the halftime report coming up. I'm going to issue a challenge to the studio right now, Asia. A challenge to our 2 friends in Charlotte. At halftime, I want to hear how Georgia potentially can keep things tight in Columbia and put some pressure on Dawn Staley's Gamecocks, pull off the upset. Like, what's the recipe in order for Georgia to have a chance on the road? Because that's a hostile environment. You know it's going to be a packed house at CLA. What can the Bulldogs do? Have a chance to pull off a massive upset? That's a challenge, not to you, to the studio.
They do play that matchup zone, though, so they're really going to try to key locking in on the paint, but then you got to get to those outside shooters. Pow, she's going to shoot that thing. South Carolina, that balanced offense, so hard to guard.
Foul was called on Maddie Shear, and a word between Correa and her head coach. And Kelly Ray Finley mentioned the run in the WNIT last year, NCAA tournament appearance the year before, and now in year 3. The best way to describe it, in position to be in position, but a game like this almost becomes a must-win, considering that overtime setback at home to Ole Miss on Thursday. I think you would classify Florida in that same category that we just showed you with Charlie Cream's updated bracketology. Florida would be right below Arkansas there among teams considered. Broughton back on the floor.
Correa both Correa and Petty, some of the superstars we talked about are limited. Matharu, she's playing her game. But I want to see more looks for Petty.
Sweeping layup by Jenkins. And Amia ties it up at 25. I would agree with Steffi's assessment as well. Kentucky playing inspired basketball in the midst of this recent losing streak and a tough road loss at Auburn on Thursday. They certainly started faster than what happened down at Neville Arena.
Well, it surely helps to be at home. It helps to be at home. You've got your crowd here. It's alumni weekend.
Asia Petty up and under. That's one way to do it.
There we go. Asia Petty heard me over here. I was waiting for it.
She stared you down on the run back, other end of the court.
She has to be very intentional about the cuts, her sealing, rim running, getting on the offensive glass, anything that she can do to score because the Gators are packing it in on her.
Correa with a tough finish. She wanted the foul. You could tell the body language coming back down the court. Well, there was contact there.
Yeah, I know Correa's thinking all these fouls you guys are calling, you don't call this?
Right. She'll pick up Jenkins. Outside to Russell. The hesitation. Faith Duke will clear.
So for Petty, she's sort of just standing, waiting, like putting her hands up to receive the ball at the high post. She has to be intentional. Go screen away. Go cut. Go do what you can to get yourself open.
Asia Petty, the footwork you commented on early, on display here.
Yeah, footwork, that's about survey, sees what she has, and then just a classic up and under to get around two and get the finish.
Second foul was just called on Brooklyn Miles. Broughton at the strike. Transfer from Rutgers. This last season with that shoulder injury, and I think Kelly Ray Finley would tell you she's just now probably starting to gain that confidence and a little swagger back. And number 4 in black could be a big factor for the Gators in these final 5 or 6 games.
Coming off injury is tough. You talk about the confidence factor. You know, you're dealing with lingering pains, and then you've been off the court, and then you're thinking about your shoulder. So you credit Zippy Broughton because she's one of the toughest defenders on the perimeter. You know she can do offensively. Haven't seen a lot of it, but we have been seeing some of it in the last few matches.
How about the block by Dude out of bounds on the runner by Jenkins? That almost went to the 3rd row. We'll take another look.
Dude, coming in. Yeah, that was like a volleyball swat. She took out the whole camera section.
Standing defense for the Gators, approaching 2 to play in the half.
And Petty just absolutely battling it out in the post, and Duke's doing a great job of denial. You play behind Petty, she's going to go to work. Look at the denial.
Shot clock at 3. Russell stop and pop.
And I love Russell. Doesn't force it in. She sees that the post entry is not there, so she goes to work and scores herself.
Nice. Maya Russell starting to heat up. She's got 8 points to pace the Cats. 8 ties so far today, and the bucket inside against Petty.
Zippy Broughton absolutely shifty, just showed her shiftiness in that ball screen.
Great find inside to Jenkins, and the foul on Correa, her second.
Continues to be back and forth, and Russell showing her shiftiness. Love the short jumper there. And then on the other end, another shifty player, Zippy Broughton, off the ball screen, just completely splits it and attacks the basket.
Mia Jenkins 62% at the stripe this year. Silky smooth on that first delivery. Entertaining start in Lexington. A game that has been back and forth. Neither team is led by more than 3 points at this juncture, and we've now reached our 9th tie of the half at 31.
We talked about a few star players, but I've been impressed by everybody else around them that stepped up. We've seen scoring from different players in bunches.
Lindahl just checked back in, received the pass from Duke. She'll get it back. Too strong to the baseline. Jenkins clears. Russell left open for a minute and makes him pay. The Cats lead by 3.
Russell's really filling in. I love the push by the Wildcats. Put some pressure on the transition defense of the Florida Gators.
Nia Russell in double figures, the lone player for either team to reach that mark. Largest lead of the game for Kentucky as a foul was called on Correa. Correa attacking Red.
Russell is really feeling it. I love it. The step back. She makes sure that she gets right behind the three-point line and counts it. Have another look at it. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so smooth, and she's got the length in the release.
Second foul on Asia Petty. Correa to shoot 2. Now with 5 points and one more free throw coming. .32, less than a minute to go in the half. Tyler picked up by Broughton. She'll attack, Duke clears. Gators can go 2 for 1, Rimdahl for 3. Russell was calling for it. She'll settle down the Wildcat offense.
Yeah, I love that. Great decision by Jenkins as well to push it back, to kick it back out.
Russell somehow found a way to get the shot off. And then a jump ball. Rimdahl playing the rebound. How big is that moment with the shot clock off? UK gets the final possession.
And I love that hustle by Russell. She finesses up a shot, knows that it's not going to go in, and then goes and hustles and forces the jump ball to get themselves that last possession.
Gators' top 2 leading scorers, Tharu, 18 points per game. Correa, 17.8, have been held in check for the most part in this half. Maddie Shear gives the Cats their largest lead at 4. Here comes Matharu, the runner, slices that lead in half.
Back and forth. Here we go.
36 to 34.
Because she's been using it this entire game, and that's how she's getting her bucket.
Cats 4 of 9 from deep. That's been one of the difference makers. But Matharu's runner right before the buzzer sliced that 4-point lead in half. First 2 quarters featured 9 ties and 11 lead changes. They have a good number of turnovers. 11 for the Gators, 10 for the home team. Florida has it to start our 3rd quarter. Maybe the most important half of basketball for the Gators this season. The mid-range not there. Broughton was off the mark. Duke on the offensive glass rolls it in. I'm not sure how that ball went through the hoop. It came in at a low trajectory, but it counts and a chance for 3.
But that's what exactly what Duke needs to do. Get on the glass. You're not getting touches or getting looks in the paint offensively. Get on the glass, take advantage of the size, and more importantly, finish.
So now a 4-0 run by the Gators, and a chance for 5 to give Florida the advantage again. Duke, the senior from British Columbia. And is off the mark. The rebound pops out to Jenkins. And stolen. That was Warren. Broughton the bounce pass. No look for Ryan. He spun in. And Matharu with a chance for 3 for the Gators. Well, that was showtime in that exchange.
Kentucky's got to clean it up because this is exactly what Florida likes to do. They get out the passing lanes. Broughton to Matharu. Woo, what a sweet pass. Matharu just slips there behind the defense.
Second foul on Jenkins, 3 the hard way for number 2 in black, and the Gators have a 3-point advantage. So a 7-0 burst goes back to the end of the second quarter. And Florida trailed by 4. And again, we talked about the importance of this half for Florida basketball. Currently not on the bubble according to ESPN bracketologist Charlie Crean, but honestly probably should be. You look at the net rankings. Gators in the top 60. They've got to enhance the resume down the stretch. Warren inside. And she was hit hard by Anaya Russell. That'll be her second.
Have another look at the foul. Great cut in there, and yeah, no body control by Russell. She tried to get in there and get the defensive stop, so that's an easy one.
64% at the stripe. Junior out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. A bit of a different feel at the free throw line. She stands about 6 inches behind the charity stripe. I don't know that you see that all that often. Largest lead now for the Gators at 5.
I'm thinking strategically it's because she has a very strong shot. She might have to pull it back a little bit, lack of touch.
70 seconds into our second half, and here come the Gators on the road. A timeout called by UK.
How can your base layer help you stay active? Make it the only base layer with invisible medical grade knee support. Add 90 feet of high strength cables and make them fully adjustable to give you complete control. Proven to help you overcome injuries, eliminate pain, and regain the confidence to get back out there. So you could do more of this, and this, and this. People call them many things. Yeah, magic pants. We call it supportive apparel. Learn more at Stoco.com.
What was it like before Viasat satellite internet? 2 words. Not fun.
Log off, I've got homework.
No, wait, still my turn.
We couldn't share the internet. Time's up. Sharing's caring. But now with Viasat's new plans, we have plenty of internet for everyone. Except you, babe. Being rude.
More data, faster speeds, available where you live. Learn more about our plans at Viasat.com.
Asia Ellison, Roy Philpott. Feels like we just did this. That's because Florida's in the midst of a 9-0 run. Timeout called by Kentucky. The Florida tournament resume, and Charlie Cream doesn't like you a whole lot just yet. But the net ranking at 56, 13 wins overall. That conference record, Asia, needs to get to 500. So if you hold on today, you get to win number 5. Then Mizzou comes to Gainesville up next. Chance to maybe pick up another dub there. All of a sudden, Charlie Cream starts to put you in those next 4 out, or teams under consideration, and you start to work your way up. But right now, there's going to be some other opportunities, not only in the regular season, but in the SEC tournament in Greenville, South Carolina, where if you beat some of those teams ahead of you, you can get back on the bubble and have a chance.
But a luxury for Florida, that next game is a home game, but it starts on the road, the toughest games to win, so they secure this one here. They have to be feeling good going back to Gainesville for that next matchup.
I like it. Shear had it out of the timeout, and now Russell. Cats have yet to score so far in the third quarter. Gators have put 7 on the board, and here's a steal. Matharu. It's what she does, leading the SEC in that category.
Another one.
And an offensive foul. Cassidy Rowe through the charge. That's the 3rd on Aaliyah Matharu.
Aaliyah Matharu off the steal, coming in to the jump stop. I don't know about that one, but they're calling it. I think Kentucky's doing a great job of selling it, making the read, stepping in there. I don't know if I agree on that one.
I haven't called this many offensive fouls and charges, I think, the entire year combined. Another steal, poked away by Duke. Matharu coast to coast.
I think they're just predetermined calls at this point by the refs. It's an automatic charge as soon as somebody steps in.
Kentucky's got to do a better job taking care of the basketball. Broughton. Hug a Kentucky fan. No, it's a Florida fan.
Yeah,
no, she found him right there on the first row. Oh, dapping him up. And fortunate not to be injured here. You love the effort, though.
Look at that athleticism. Just climbs over the table, knocks over a few things. That's okay. Hugs the fan. I thought she was going to ask for some popcorn there. That's something I would have probably done.
Oh, that's a great moment.
Credit to the fan, got the popcorn out the way.
That was pretty impressive as well. Stop me if you've heard this before. An offensive foul. And it's called on Emma King. That's her second. Already the 14th foul. It's Kentucky. We're 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the half.
Yeah, we got to get that number, how many charges were called.
Holy moly. Correa from 16. Here comes Emma King for the Cats. Found a way to score against Correa. First bucket, the third quarter, the Wildcats.
She had this jump stop, turnaround jumper, so she wouldn't get the charge call.
That's right. Probably smart on her part. Correa was bumped and fouled. She's going to shoot a pair. Yeah, great point by you. Avoid the offensive foul call.
Yep, and this is how you do it. She was under control. Little turnaround fadeaway jump shot.
And on the other end, Emma King just picked up her third personal. So Mia Jenkins has 3. King has 3. Coming up tomorrow night, SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to the South Carolina women's basketball team at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Go all-access with the Vanderbilt men's basketball program. You get never before seen footage and sound from players and coaches. A real behind-the-scenes look right here on the SEC Network, the ESPN app. That loud cheer you heard was free food coming after the 2 missed free throws. I believe that is free Chick-fil-A for everybody in attendance today.
It's always Chick-fil-A. The free nuggets, that's what it is.
I don't know if that includes the broadcasters. Like if we show them our press pass, maybe we could get in that mix. Sanaya Tyler.
I think it only counts if it's broadcast for drinks. If we jinx it and help earn it.
I got you. The reverse jinx then.
The reverse jinx, yeah.
Back to a 1-point game. You don't get the sense that one of these teams is going to run away with this. Kentucky trying to end this losing streak, and Florida trying to work its way back on the bubble. UK's lost 6 straight. Here's Correa. Good look, too strong. Rebounded by Warren and a fresh 20.
Another charge call.
It was. Emma King, that's a critical call. She's got 3 personals. That could have been her 4th. Instead, another offensive foul. And it goes against Rimdahl.
Well, Emma King, she did a great job. She was set there. Stephen set up, calling it every time.
It has been consistent. Petty inside, her first touch of the third quarter. 2 free throws coming. Warren closed in too late. And a technical foul was just called on Faith Duke.
Well, Faith Duke and Petty, they've been going at it in the paint the whole entire game.
Faith had something to say after the fact to the officiating crew, and the quick technical was called based off whatever that was. And you see her pleading her case, and then the forearm came up, and there was contact there, and that's going to be a given just about every single time.
On the floor, common foul on number 4, and foul on Florida number 25.
So Asia Petty at the line. Duke will have a seat on the bench. Petty will get 1 more. Duke will head back to the locker room. Petty was 1 of 2. And the contact made right there.
I mean, was she trying to show the ref like a...
My guess is yes. It's hard to know the intentions of any player, but she just kept walking and the arm was extended, and so the contact occurred, and that's obviously an issue. So in the midst of all of that, Florida once had a 5-point lead. That has been erased after a UK 7-0 burst. Technical foul by Duke, producing a lot of that, and here comes Sanaya Tyler. And now that run extends to 9-0. Correa was fouled on the other end. So back-to-back 9-0 runs by both teams. And Duke, I think, walked away thinking she could have been ejected. She's back on the Florida bench. And it's just a technical, no ejection as a result of that incident. Correa's free throw will stop the 9-0 run. It's a third foul on Maddie Shear. So you got 3 Cats with 3 personals, Shear, King, and Jenkins. Correa's 2 for 2. A lot happening here in the last 90 seconds, Asia.
A lot of fouls happening. Florida continuing to be aggressive on their attack, continue to get to the free throw line.
Tyler off the mark. The rebound claimed by Warren. Here come the Gators on the move. Broughton to Warren from 15. Tied at 45. The delay of game warning just issued Gators after that exchange. 12 ties, 13 lead changes. Largest lead has been Florida by 5 moments ago. We've seen technical fouls. We've seen things get a little chippy. The box out by Correa against Shear. Gators nearly turn it over. What's the call here? Out of bounds last touch by the Cats, or a foul? No, it's a foul.
I think they called the foul because Brooklyn Miles came in a bit out of control, slid into Zippy Broughton and knocked her over. And there it is. That's the foul call. That was great hustle, though. She just slid, lack of body control.
Miles picks up her third person. Foul troubles mounting up for UK. Broughton shoots 81%. Rattles home the first. Game has gotten physical in the second half.
Well, the name of the game for the Gators at this point is to just attack, be aggressive, draw the foul, and get to the line.
Hey, Walker checks in. Asia Petty goes out.
And on the other end for Kentucky offensively, they need to not settle. They settled in those last 2 possessions, specifically Tyler for outside shots. Continue to attack the paint.
King outside to Shear from 13. And bumped by Maddie Shear. That's going to be her 4th. 1-point lead for the Gators. Motions running high in Lexington.
Marcus is a connoisseur of anything that's free. So he was happy to read the disclaimer on TurboTax Free Edition.
Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at TurboTax.com. That's me!
File your taxes 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your max refund guaranteed. Make your moves count. See if you qualify at TurboTax.com.
Stitch Fix. Online personal styling straight to your door.
Nailed that fit.
Stitch Fix. Style you can feel.
The SEC and SEC Network thank our official corporate sponsors for their continued support of our student athletes during every championship season.
What if your body didn't have to hurt after being active? Introducing Stoco, designed to help you overcome injuries, minimize pain, and regain the confidence to get back out there. Stoco is trusted by Olympians and weekend warriors who want one thing: more activity and less pain. Learn more at Stoco.com.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. Go to DealDash.com and see how much you can save.
I used to think I couldn't host shindigs. Then I found Pretty Litter. It tracks odors and changes color to keep tabs on my cat's health. Plus, it delivers right to my door. Get 5-star freshness at prettylitter.com.
What should we do?
I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. I can apply in minutes, and if approved, we can have the money as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
Well, the 50th season of Kentucky women's basketball and the Memorial Coliseum undergoing renovations. That shot from yesterday. So a good bit of work to do to get it ready for the fall, to get it playable. But we're talking about, Asia, new locker rooms, new club level, new offices, the scoreboard hanging from the ceiling, the massive Jumbotron. The renderings are fantastic, and they're going to be ready to go in time for volleyball and basketball in the fall. It will be playable, and then by the time we get to next spring, renovations are expected to be officially complete. It will be spectacular upon completion.
Oh, it's looking real nice. You forgot about our analyst suite that they told us about with the jacuzzi.
Oh, I didn't know. I missed the memo. That sounds good.
No, but I mean, an $82 million renovation speaks volumes. I mean, that's going to look fantastic. Great for the Kentucky Wildcats players and great for the program as well.
Our producer today, Daniel Gibbons, our director, Seth Payne, doing a fantastic job. Entertaining physical start today in the Commonwealth in a game that has featured 12 ties and 14 lead changes. It is Florida at the line, and Broughton connects on the first of two. All smiles, and we mentioned coming back from that shoulder injury that kept her out last year. And I think if Florida's going to make a run to the dance, 4 in black is going to be a big reason why, as she continues to gain strength and confidence and just overcoming the mental hurdle of what it's all about coming back from an injury like that. Miles out of control, and it pops to Warren. The Gators now in the midst of an 8-0 run. So it was 9-0 in favor of Florida, 9-0 in favor of Kentucky, and now 11-0 in favor of the Gators to go up by 6.
Another thing with the Gators, they've gone to the free throw line quite a bit, 25 times, compared to Kentucky, who just gone to the free throw line 10 times.
A lot of free throws, a lot of fouls. Officially a 10-0 advantage for Florida in the midst of this run. Asia Petty was fouled. Petty with 5 points and 4 boards so far, averaging nearly a double-double this season.
Petty finally getting a touch here. There she's raping the high post, and yeah, she drew the bump there from Kindred.
Second on Kindred. I said nearly a double-double. She's averaging a double-double. Started her career at LSU. Mentioned her transformation. One of the things she's talked about this year, too, is rededicated herself in terms of diet and also in terms of her faith. She said she's much more grounded. Had an important meeting with Coach Elsie last offseason, which Coach Elsie challenged her to become the player she is now. That has helped transform her game. Cats keep it on the jump ball.
Yeah, it was Chippy on that jump ball as well. Russell and Kindred in there. I mean, no one wants to let the ball go. That's traditional. That's law. You have to be the last one to hold the ball.
I remember seeing you operate in that capacity back in the day. How about this? A chance for 3 and a tough finish by Amia Jenkins.
And I love it, Jenkins. You got to be aggressive. You got to see. You see the way the game's being called, how the refs are calling the foul. So what do? You continue to be aggressive on your attack. You get to the free throw line, or you can get the bucket and get to the free throw line as well, which is exactly what Jenkins did here.
Third foul on Correa. Layla Reynolds also with 3. Tharo with 3. Correa head to the bench.
Huge for the Gators as well. 2 of your best scorers on the bench now in foul trouble.
Put back by Russell, a 4-point possession. And the Cats trail by a point now. The pace and the rhythm of this game certainly interesting with the physicality, all the fouling that's occurred. Broughton, silky smooth.
Yeah, Broughton's a calming factor. She's going to be the player, the X factor offensively for the Gators to step up.
She's got 12. With Matharo to pace Florida so far. 3.5 to go in the third. Gators drop back in a zone. Asia Petty stolen by Warren. Ahead to Rimdahl. No offensive foul here. The personal called on Miles. That's going to be her fourth.
Zippy Broughton, an absolute calming factor, just comes here off the screen, curls, defender sacks back way too low, so she punched her right there from the free throw line.
Brooklyn Miles with 4, Maddie Shear with 4. And between the two teams, Asia, we've had 36 fouls called already with 13 minutes to go. To be honest with you, I thought that there were more than that.
I thought so too. What did we say, 9 charge calls? 9 offensive
fouls today, 6 by Florida, 3 by Kentucky. And you see foul issues for the Cats. King with 3 and Miles and Shear both with 4 apiece. Gators will show some full court pressure here. Really force the turnover. A kickball out of bounds. It'll stay with Kentucky. At some point you have to stop fouling, otherwise you're going to have 4 players on the floor.
Yeah, it's almost as if you have to play a little bit more timid, obviously more disciplined, but you dial it back a bit because the fouls are being called. I mean, we said it, there are a lot being called here, so you really have to be careful, be mindful and disciplined, especially down the stretch.
Rose pass intercepted by Warren, another turnover. 16 now for Kentucky, and on the other end, Kindred inside.
The Gators are doing such a great job anticipating. They're clogging up the paint, and when the looks are there, they're baiting Kentucky to throw it in there.
Kyra Elsie has seen enough. Florida, all of a sudden, with its largest lead. Gators have now connected on their last 4 field goal attempts, and high fives all around for Coach Finley.
Yep, and it's been the same look, stops to scores. That's what the Gators like to do, get the stop, and great run out by Kindred. Easy bucket.
As a player, when you feel and sense a game is going to be called tightly like this one with all the fouls, is it hard to adjust and maybe take your foot off the gas so that you don't keep doing that?
Absolutely, especially with the way both these teams play. Florida, they play very aggressive defensively, and it's been chippy. They've been going back and forth. They've been battling, grittiness. It's definitely very hard, but again, you have to be disciplined on both ends. So defensively, you got to dial back a bit, but then on offense, you see it's being called that way. Keep attacking, have body control so you don't get the offensive foul, but you want to attack and get yourself to the free throw line.
South Carolina and Georgia happening in Columbia over on ABC right now. Good start for the Bulldogs, a 3-point lead at 23-20. Keep an eye on that one. In and out for Tyler. And somehow saved a row. Russell gets it back up and in.
Russell's been outstanding. To get back to that South Carolina-Georgia game, I think when teams play Georgia, it takes them a minute offensively to adjust to the matchup zone. So that's why more often than not, we're seeing Georgia get early leads in games because they're really disruptive.
Russell operating on the baseline has been so good this afternoon. She's got 15 points, and Broughton's going to be helped to her feet. Appears to be okay, but we'll take a moment.
Russell Great shot fake there and just goes baseline. Ooh, look at the finish, too.
Body control.
Body control. There it is.
All right, so this third quarter, Asia, I mentioned it earlier, and it's gone next level since. Florida started the third with a 7-0 run. Kentucky responded with a 9-0 advantage. Then the Gators went on a 10-0 burst, followed by Kentucky 5-0, Florida 5-0. So I'm not sure what's happening. That basket will stop that streak, but it's been a quarter and a game of runs.
Back and forth, and I think some of those runs that Kentucky went on, you got to remember Matharu, I believe, was on the bench at one point with Correa, so the Wildcats were able to take advantage to go on their run.
Both players have 3 fouls, leading scorers for Florida. Both came off the bench today, by the way. Gators back in the zone.
There we go. Kentucky's got to dribble penetrate.
Rebound tracked down by Matharu. Went right past Rowe, and another offensive foul. The 7th offensive foul called on the Gators this afternoon. 7.
Listen, you know you're stepping in, you're planning. The call is right there, and Matharu tried to go for the Euro step. She actually stepped away from the basket. Have another look at it. I mean,
we have 10 offensive fouls called in this game. 7 on Florida, 3 on Kentucky.
Step in, you're getting it.
You're getting it. Here's Russell. Left hand, no. Out of bounds, it'll go back to the Gators. Suddenly with a 6-point lead, that ties their largest advantage of the game.
Can you imagine if taking a charge was actually something that counted on the stat sheet, how many double-doubles we probably have today?
I mean, we keep track of it, but you don't really see it in the box score, right? Game has gotten chippy in the second half. Continues to be so. Kindred, no. Warren, yes. She's got 6.
Great follow-up by Warren there.
8-point lead, the largest for either side. Game and shot clock virtually identical. Nia Russell waiting for that clock to dip below maybe 8 or 7 seconds. There she goes. Russell against Rimdahl. Stop and pop. Big bucket at the end of the third. And the desperation heave off the mark. That ties their highest number of points in any quarter in conference play this year. They also did it against Mississippi State. First quarter of that game earlier this campaign. Game that has featured 10 offensive fouls. 7 by the Gators, 3 by Kentucky. There's been a different level of chippiness in this second half. That graphic tells you the story. 2 big numbers, easy to see, easy to read, easy to decipher. And you're charging into the painted area today, chances are you're going to exit with an offensive foul. They were double checking the shot clock. There's Ellison, Roy Philpott. So glad you could join us. 4 weeks out from Selection Sunday. Mia Jenkins waiting for that screen from Petty. She'll force it up. Petty on the offensive glass. Petty up with it.
It's a great effort on the glass by Petty and step through to get herself some space, and she draws the contact to get to the free throw line. Have another look at it here. Petty just soars and gets the ball. She has such a great nose for the ball on the offensive glass.
Second foul on Warren. Petty to shoot 2. 6 points, 5 rebounds this afternoon. Started every game this season for head coach Kyra Elzy. Senior out of Baltimore. 1 of 2 at the line. Every free throw becomes critical. Broughton. touched by the Cats. Kindred was open for a minute, but maybe a bounce pass would have been better suited there. Tough to thread the needle. Kindred goes out. Duke back home. For the bigs, is it better to get the bounce pass? It gives you maybe that extra second to
I don't know. I never
figure out
liked
what you're going to do. Oh, you didn't like it.
bounce pass. I don't know. I want it thrown up in the air. But it depends. You have to know your big too. The ones that can soar and get up in the air and get it, you got to toss it up.
Makes sense. Broughton spins around and in. Zippy zips it home. And the lead back to 7, a free throw to come.
Zippy's been tremendous, and I think teams have just been sleeping on her, but the baseline drive and the finish. That's how you step it up. That's exactly what Florida needs from Zippy Broughton down the stretch, and she's been great in these last few matchups in terms of producing offensively.
14 points, missed the free throw. Maddie Shear can get going. Answer is yes. It's a shot from the wing for 3. She's got 12, and more importantly, the lead down to 4, and here's a turnover.
Bucket,
Russell.
Bucket for Kentucky here is huge.
How about the block by Warren? Shear claimed the rebound. And fouls everywhere. Boy, a stare down by the officiating crew back towards the Kentucky fans.
We both saw it, Roy.
Not sure what was said. Wasn't pleasant.
So Shear gets the three-pointer here. Clutch, much-needed bucket, and then on the other end, a block, and who comes? Shear. Shear comes and draws a foul.
I mean, it's getting chippy with the teams. It's getting chippy with the fans. It's getting chippy with the officials. Not yet the broadcasters, but who knows?
You get a stare down from an official, you got his attention.
I can't tell you the last time I saw that. Petty comes up short and defended well by Warren. This game has seen everything. More drama than a junior high lunch table. Rimdahl open for a minute. She'll splash home a 3.
I love that, and I heard the Kentucky fans behind me. You got to watch Rimdahl. She could shoot it. She could shoot it, and I love that forward, just dribble, drive action, great ball movement to find Rimdahl.
Ready to spin, a patient finish, comes up short. She'll get it back and fouled by Duke.
Dribble drive offense from the Florida Gators creates such a great shot. Birdie Rimdahl for 3.
Rimdahl has nearly double her season average today. Gators just 2 of 9 from three-point range. Kentucky 5 of 12. It's Florida with a 7-point lead. Petty at the line. It's not been what she would have expected. Now 3 of 7. Averaging at 52% this year at the stripe. Give her credit. She took a long, hard look in the mirror last offseason and made the decision. Try to be a professional. Wants to play pro ball. She's going to be in position to do that. Dedication to her craft. It's paid dividends this year, averaging a double-double. 13 double-doubles on the season. Last touch by Florida. We'll go back to the press. Well, don't forget, coming up as soon as we're done here at Rupp, Kia Jackson, Lady Ball square off against rival Vanderbilt. From Music City, Memorial Gymnasium, coverage begins 2 Eastern, 1 Central, right here. The SEC Network, the ESPN. Vanderbilt on the bubble, Lady Vols on the bubble. That game could go a long way, determining the postseason fortunes for both teams. Tyler inside. Lead down to 4. Cats back in his zone. Warren flash, Rimdahl retreats. Here's Duke against Petty. Up and in. A strong move in traffic for 25.
And I love the patience by the Gators, just getting the ball moving around and be able to find the gap, get it into the paint to Duke, who had a great post-up.
Russell down low.
There's absolutely no answer for Russell. She's scoring it from beyond the arc. She's shooting the mid-range. She's attacking the rim. She's sizing up.
Correa wide open. Russell now with 19 points. That's 10 above her season average. We mentioned the athleticism and the body control. Russell can do it all for you as you take a look at Dude inside.
Dude inside. Dude inside, excuse me. Just great post up there. And then on the other end, Russell, no answer for her. Even with the wall up, still gets the bucket.
She had something to say afterwards. Everybody's talking in this game. Big possession for the Cats, trailing by 4. Tyler the step back, not this time. Russell went right over Correa and was bumped. Foul called on Faith Duke. That's her third.
Another element of Russell's game, her size at the guard position. Look at these bunnies, just snatches it out of Correa's hands, gets over her, and then draws the foul as well. It's a great hustle play. Have another look at it. Look at her soaring in the air.
Nye Russell started her career at South Carolina. 2 free throws here. One more will tie her career high of 21. That came against Boston College way back in late November. And the Cats have needed every single one of her points. Ties her career high at 21. We've got a 1-possession game. How much fun is this?
This is going to be key for Florida to get inside out, find the best shot in there.
That was not it. Matharu off the side of the backboard.
Both teams need to calm down on those last two possessions.
Dude against Russell, and a chance for 3.
And I love the patience by Duke. 2 players on her. She didn't kick it out. She was literally right there at the basket. Just turn around and put it in. Let's have another look. Pass goes into Duke. She's got Petty and Russell on her. I mean, maybe, was it the lower body of Russell? Because I thought she had the wall up.
I refuse to comment on potential for fouls or no calls. It's the 3rd on Russell. Ball's in her hands. Now she'll give it up to Miles to set up the offense. Approaching the halfway point, entertaining 4th quarter. By the cut by Miles. And she traveled before, tried to attempt to pass with nobody home. You can feel the energy, the emotions of both teams this afternoon, Asia.
The aggression, I can feel it all.
Aggression is a good word, the physicality. Correa too strong.
That's one of those way too wide open shots.
Yeah, it felt like she was also waiting for that contact to come. It did not on the other end. Mia Jenkins. 1-possession game again, under 5 to play. Broughton from 16. Somehow got the pass to Jenkins. A little Euro that's rejected out of bounds. Raya Warren with a block.
Kentucky just not letting up whatsoever. Jenkins with the drive. Love to see it. Attacking aggressively downhill. Kentucky trying to chip back at it.
Scrawny butt. Feeling kinda yawny butt. Jelly butt. Uh-oh, something smelly butt? No matter what kind of little butt you got, only Huggies has the most curves to fit your delicate skin. We got you, baby.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not one based on Paul. You don't want to ride with Paul. Or Sarah. Not today, anyway. And you don't want a rate based on Ben. He's got some important business to take care of. Why would you pay a rate based on anyone else? With Allstate, you're connected to a rate based on you.
We're in the security business. Our job is to help people feel safe. Not only our customers, but those who matter most to them. Just like our company does for us. We have great benefits from Principal, so I know I'm taken care of. And not just me, but the ones who matter most to me.
TurboTax makes all your moves count, whether you bought a house or started an award-winning TV show.
That's right. We guarantee 100% accurate taxes.
She's good. That's Connie. Hey, Connie.
Hi there.
About 10 minutes until tip-off for Kia Jackson. Remember, Shea Rouse's squad just beat A&M. Maybe something going out there, Vandy.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. Vanderbilt coming off a big game against Texas A&M. Rakia Jackson going to have to play big for Kelly Harper.
Roy Philpott, you said you wanted to find a way that Georgia gets it close. How about this? 10 turnovers in the first half for South Carolina. Georgia up 7 on the #1 team in the country over at half. How about that?
PB, total chaos back here in Lexington, Kentucky. And the Bulldogs with the lead at CLA against #1 and undefeated South Carolina is shocking. Meanwhile, also shocking, Florida assistant coach Ryan Howard, the former SEC Player of the Year, came out of the huddle to be recognized with former head coach Matthew Mitchell here in Lexington and some of her former teammates, all a part of Alumni Day here at Rupp Arena, and we've got some amazing stories to tell around the SEC. Maddie Shear out of the timeout ties us up at 69 apiece.
Great execution. It's going to be key for Kentucky now. Play some defense, keep Florida out of the paint, which is hard to do when you have Matharu on the attack.
Aaliyah, another bucket. She's got 16. Gators back in front by 2. 13 ties, 14 lead change. Mass chaos with Georgia leading in Columbia against #1 South Carolina. Just getting started.
Problems with the matchup zone I was telling you about.
Maybe so. Coach Abe figuring out a way to get her team in position.
Back and forth affair. And how about Sher? We know she can shoot the 3, but she can put it on the floor from the field too. And then on the other end, just so hard to guard off the dribble is Matharu with the crowd shusher.
That was the 5th foul on Matharu. She just fouled out of the game as the leading scorer for the Gators, not only in this contest, but for the season. Matharu on the bench for the final 3:55. Shortage of storylines this Sunday afternoon. The free throw was good. One more coming for Jenkins. Now is in double figures.
And that's huge. No Matharu out on the game, but you still have Correa, an exceptional scorer. Rimdahl's been having a great game, and same with Zippy Broughton, the player right now with the basketball.
And again, most important 3.5 minutes of the season for Florida. Gators have goals of reaching the NCAA tournament. It's going to be hard to get there without a win on the road today at Kentucky. Patch trying to end a 6-game skid. Broughton throws it up there. Petty claims a strong rebound. Sanaya Tyler, bullhead of steam, the left-handed layup. Kentucky back in front.
Sanaya Tyler has had a number of key plays that all look just like that, aggressive attacking downhill.
Correa. Here comes Maddie Shear. 1-on-2. Tyler with a clean pass. Fouled hard, and 2 free throws coming for number 2 in white.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You gotta keep attacking aggressive. And Shear says, hey, Tyler's been doing it. I'm gonna keep feeding her in great aggressive attack. Draws the foul. We know how the game's been called, but that's the easy one right there.
Sanaya Tyler with 8 points. Second foul on Broughton. And she has been absolutely fearless into the paint today. She's had some layups and some contested layups at critical moments. That'll be the 3rd on Broughton. Line drive delivery, it counts. The lead at 3. Kentucky has now outscored Florida 20-11 in the 4th quarter. Rimdahl was tripped and fouled, and she is down. So Jenkins now has 4 fouls.
For both teams, you just have to keep being aggressive. You see Birdie Rimdahl here, just aggressive, attacking the hip. But that's what you got to do both ways. You see the way the game's being called, and you credit the officials. At least it's consistent. So when you know it's consistent there, take advantage of it. Be aggressive, attack.
Rimdahl was shoved again. Back-to-back tumbles. Another whistle. Kentucky already in the bonus. And that's going to be the 5th on Maddie Shear.
So I will say, you might have to have another look at it. I don't know. I thought Rimdahl went in a little bit out of control.
Shear fouls out. Matharu is already fouled out for Florida.
Oh yeah, Shear got her with the hip.
That's a foul.
Yeah, that's a foul.
Body bump.
That was my classic way of fouling, and I never knew why it was a foul. I'm like, my hands, I would have my hands straight up, but then like,
of course you
take someone out with my hand.
At least you own it now.
Yeah, now as an analyst, I understand. As a player, never.
Right. Under 3 minutes remaining. Florida down by 3. A must-win scenario. Dump off to Warren off the glass, and that was well executed.
Yeah, down by 3, but lots of time before that possession. Just got to continue to be aggressive and attack the paint.
Well, Brooklyn Miles was looking up into the stands, crossing half court. She'll call out the play. First time she's come off the bench this season, and 5 points in the first quarter. Held in check since then. Shot clock already at 5. Here's Russell, collects to Petty.
I love that play. Whether it's Tyler or Russell, they've been unstoppable coming off the bounce. And then I love the read, just getting it to Petty when you draw defenders.
Correa tried to respond, could not. It'll stay with the Gators.
Have another look at the last couple buckets, back and forth affair, starting here with Florida. And then on the other end, Russell just draws 2 and drops it to Petty.
I'm going to double check to make sure that possession should stay with Florida. And another bang bang play for 2 minutes to go. Let's see what we think as well. Calling the floor was Florida basketball. Well, you wonder if Kindred almost kicked it out.
Or a foot?
Off the left foot. I would say that's enough to overturn the call.
Yeah.
The path of the basketball changes from that previous angle as it was deflected out. And they got it right. That's why we have replay. (76-73), and Kentucky in position now to end this losing streak. Gators need a stop. And they need some points with their top scorers out of this game. Leah Matharu, she fouled out 2 minutes ago. Well, Kentucky's had some close losses this year. You go back to the overtime setback against Mississippi State. 77-74 right here at Rupp.
Biggest key for Kentucky, especially in those losses, is to execute, finish down the stretch.
Russell, no. The rebound will be claimed by Russell near midcourt, and she kept it on the right side.
Carol was going to calm her team down and get a play call, excuse me.
There's Russell. 4 to shoot. Here's Tyler. And that shot deflected and brought in by Broughton. Chance now for the Gators. Ribbed off for the tie. Jenkins the rebound. Kentucky has it with a 3-point lead. Less than a minute to go. They'll feed Petty. Operating inside, no, and stay with the Cats. Petty on the reverse. Thought she would get a clean look. Came up short. So now 26-second differential between game and shot clock. 1 possession game. Asia, too early to start fouling, or do you just play this one out?
They're going to have to foul eventually, depending with the time going. There we go. There it is. But now for Kentucky, you got to go knock them down at the charity stripe.
Warren just picked up her 4. Russell at the line today is a perfect 4 for 4. She's already tied her career high. One more free throw establishes a new record. Number 4 in white. What a game, what a performance.
Look what you did. There it goes.
I do take responsibility there. The importance of making it a 2-possession game can't be stated enough. Only 40 seconds remaining. 0 of 2, but Petty claims the rebound. Outside to Russell, and we'll do that same song and dance over again. Petty just recorded her 14th double-double with that board.
This is exactly what Petty does. So if I'm Florida, you got to get a box out. And look, she just gets right around Faith Duke with ease. Earns her team the extra possession.
How about the handles, too, and bought another second off the clock. If you're tuning in, expecting to see Vanderbilt and the Lady Vols, we will get you to Nashville as soon as this game concludes in Lexington. And there's more drama to unfold. 3 straight missed free throws has kept this a 1-possession game. And the reverse dinks work. If you're a fan of the Cats there. Lead up to 4. And a timeout called by the Gators. So Florida needs points, needs them in a hurry. Question for you is, does it have to be a 3?
They can go for a 2-for-1, so get a quick shot in, or they can go for the 3. Again, Matharu out of the game, that's huge. But they've got plenty capable scores. They got Rendall in, who's been hitting shots. They got Correa in. Just got her 2,000 point in the last game. She can knock it down from 3. Zippy Broughton's been great off of her attack. So lots of scoring options in there.
Meanwhile, Anaya Russell, a new career high of 22. It has been in a variety of different ways. She's made 1 3, but the body control and the athleticism in traffic has been on display front and center.
You said it. Her dynamic scoring has been put on display, and she's had such an efficient, tremendous floor game. She's getting on the glass. She's shooting mid-range jumpers. She had her 3-pointer. She's attacking. I mean, this is a player that has just completely been unguardable. And when she's not scoring the basketball, she's been facilitating and opening up for others as well.
22 and 5, and it's been efficient. Crowd on its feet. Gators have it down by 4. Broughton, Miles fell down. Broughton takes advantage. 77-75 and a timeout called by Kyra Elzy. Well, Miles thought she was going to get another offensive foul on the charge. Instead, they let it play.
Man, you got to keep playing, and that's exactly what Zippy did. Quick bucket, that's what the Gators needed here. I love it. That's how you stay with it. She's laying wide open after this play. Zippy Broughton able to get in and finish the basket.
For a moment, it felt like she paused, expecting a whistle of some sort, and then took advantage.
Yeah, it's harder to face. She kind of smacked her lips like, oh, here we go, another offensive foul. But
there have been 10 called in this game if you're just tuning in. So for Kyra Elzy, obviously you're trying to leave as much time off the clock as possible. For Florida, I assume you're going for the steal, and then if not, you try to foul.
If you're going for the steal, and that's the key. They cannot let a lot of time elapse. They're going to have to go get the foul if they don't get the steal.
Lady Vols and Vanderbilt currently on SEC Network Plus. If you're waiting for the start of that one, you can find it there. We'll get you to Nashville. We are done in Lexington. Zippy Broughton now is tied a season high with 16 points. Cats just need to get it in, make some free throws. Easier said than done. Russell was fouled quickly. The shot clock is off. Russell just missed her last 2 free throw attempts, where she made one. 5 of 8 from the line overall. Correa picked up her 4th. Russell needs to make 2 to make it a 2-possession contest again. You can feel the pressure coming on these attempts.
And then for Florida as well, you got to watch ahead. You got to box her out. Correa might even have to go in and help. They do double box her, and then Jariah Warren can get Russell at the free throw line.
(78-75). Nia Russell with 24. Timeout, Florida.
So same scenario for Florida. They can get a quick one. They can get a 2. There's still plenty of time left.
Kentucky has outscored Florida 25-15 in the 4th quarter. There were moments where it felt like the Gators were going to pull away. Florida still with 2 timeouts remaining. Neither team with a foul to give. Cats have 1 timeout left. And you mentioned it, same theory applies. You're looking for quick points. You'd love to get a 3. You don't have to. Put the pressure back on UK to try to make some more free throws.
And we have to remember, too, the way the game's been called for Florida, just continue to attack, be aggressive, be under control.
Kentucky won both meetings between these 2 teams a year ago. One came in the SEC tournament. Petty right in front of Correa, who's trying to inbounds. Lindahl has it. Correa gets it. That's a good look. Duke flies in for the offensive board. Miles claims the secondary rebound, and Brooklyn Miles with 15.4 seconds to go is going to shoot 2. Her team in front by 4.
That was a great stop, great defensive stop by Kentucky. They completely blew up. Rimdahl and Broughton coming off the curl. Correa misses the shot, and then great wall up on Faith Dude, who just throws the ball over the basket.
Miles, 62% free throw shooter. Even Even with another make, this remains a two-possession game. Nothing has been easy in trying to close this one out. Florida calls of its 2 remaining timeouts.
Now, I will say with Kentucky, you got to make free throws down the stretch. I mean, that's key for any team, especially come March when you get in those one-and-done scenarios. But free throws have always been key down the stretch, and those are the make or breakers. So when you get that free shot at the charity line, you got to step up and hit them.
Kentucky with wins in SEC play against Arkansas and Missouri. Trying for victory number 3 in the league against Florida. Road trip to Starkville is coming up Thursday night. South Carolina comes here to Rupp Arena next weekend, where Ole Miss does up home portion of the conference season. Last regular season contest will be in defending national champion LSU on March 3rd before the start of the SEC tournament. Broughton out of the timeout, works her way free. 80-77, and a timeout called by Kentucky.
You notice Florida, they had a small lineup, and they're all shooters, I'm presuming, so they're looking for that three-point shot.
Last timeout for Kyra Elzy. One more look at Zippy getting free.
Anticipating that three-point shot, but that's where Zippy is so talented. Hard closeout, she's able to go right by you and get the 2.
Only 3.5 seconds raced off the clock, scored 2. Kentucky the free throw line today, 21 of 31. We have seen a combined 60 free throw shot in this game. Total fouls, 28 called against Florida, 23 against Kentucky. No mathematician, but that is north of 50 total fouls today. Kentucky will try for a clean inbound scenario. Gators looking for a steal. And if not, a quick foul.
And it has to be quick, like absolutely quick. As soon as you don't get the steal, you foul right away.
Cats just 6 of 10 from the line the final 3 minutes. And you saw Nia Russell say, be calm, we got this. Brooklyn Miles literally has it deep in her own backcourt. And with the handles, takes 6 seconds off the clock. And Broughton just fouled out.
That's a dangerous play, though, to be caught backcourt like that right at Florida's basket. So a bit of a bailout there for Miles.
Kyra Elzy talking with assistant Jen Hoover over on the Kentucky bench. Broughton's going to foul out with 18. No shame in that effort for number 4 in black. The Gators currently on the wrong end of an 80-77 score. Biggest free throws for Brooklyn Miles this season coming right now. And the home court bounce means everything there. One of 2, Correa the rebound. And she calls a timeout. Well, for a second, I thought maybe a foul was called, and that would have been a huge break for the Gators. Instead, Kelly Rae Finley will talk things over with her team one last time. Both teams now out of timeouts.
Another look at the rebound here. Russell getting there. Correa snatches it up and allows her team to get possession of the ball.
Advanced possession here. So a 4-point game, what? You got to have a 3.
You got it, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
I answered my own question before I asked you the question.
There's no other
Just
choice.
common sense.
You got to have the three-pointer.
Right.
And she has that small lineup in there. Faith Dude is in there. She can hit threes as well. She hasn't shot a lot of them.
8 of 21 this season. You need a 3 and then some magic to happen after that. Well, just a slight taste of what's to come. This game feels like a first day matchup in Greenville, the SEC tournament, where, well, who knows, there could be postseason implications by the time the Gators get there. But a loss today doesn't help their chances. They'll have some work to do with the remaining schedule that features Mizzou coming to Gainesville Thursday night, at Georgia, at Alabama, and then Auburn at Exactech Arena. So some opportunities for Florida to finish strong. We'll get you to Memorial Gymnasium over in Nashville as soon as we're done here in Lexington. Lady Vols and Vanderbilt. Now Duke holds on to it for a bit. Correa's got to shoot it. Blocked by Russell. And a microcosm of the afternoon for number 4 in white. 81-77, the final. Kentucky finds a way, and the 6-game losing streak is over for the Cats.
And that was a tough battle. The physicality of the game, the fouls are being called, the adversity that both teams had to face. But you said that Anaya Russell, tremendous floor game, and then to finish the game on the defensive end with this block, showing her length, showing her IQ, knowing what Florida was looking to do. That's just great floor game by Anaya Russell.
Cats improved to 10-16, 3-9 in the SEC.